the funky beat. Sun is shining, Rachel brings the heat. Wake up CEO, we're on repeat. Chicago, Sun Up City on the go. Rachel L. Gary on the radio. Tune in quick, hear the power flow. Wake up CEO, it's your daily show. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. From the Windy City, bringing major vibes. Rachel on the mic, keeping lives revived. Radio Chicago, where dreams arise. Wake up CEO to the skies. No more snooze button, no more delay. Rachel's voice making waves today. Feel the energy Chicago way. Wake up CEO, rise and sway. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Wake up, start the day with CEO. Hey, Rachel's got the vibe, that's the real deal. CEO, it's time to feel the thrill. Morning grind, press play and chill. Let's play and chill.
This is Dr. Carolyn Stevens, the CEO of the BHC Media Group. And when you are looking for a strategy for self-leadership, get aligned with Wake Up CEO with host Rachel L. Gary every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m.
You know what time it is? Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary in the building. Wake up, CEO, let's go! Wake up, go Sam, set that tone. Wake up, every step you take, you claim that throne. Wake up, no more doubt, no time to stall. Wake up, boss up now, go get it on. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up, I ain't waiting, now I go and take it. Built this from the ground, no way they break it. Consistency, my secret, watch me make it. Got that boss talk, now I ain't faking no. Look, set the goal, now I'm grabbing the goal. And put in the work, now I'm taking control. The vision so clear, yeah, I already know. Every step I take, I'm ready to blow. Wake up, set that tone. Every step you take, you claim that throne. No more doubt, no time to stall. You boss up, now go get it all. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. Let's go, stay locked in, make it happen. Make it happen. No handouts, yeah, I made my way. Built my brand, now I paved my lane. I turn my losses into lessons. Now my grind got no recession. Yeah, they talk about chance, but I make my own. Yeah, I ain't waiting for fate, got a future to own. Yeah, every setback, just part of the game, gay game. But now I'm up, and they know my name. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in. Wake up. Success so sexy, put the work in flexi. Late nights, no rest, but now my vision's hefty. They doubted, they laughed, now they watch from the back. Cause I turned every dream into bricks that stack. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, make it happen. Wake up, stay locked in, go get it all. Every Wednesday, 3 to 5, my Radio Chicago, Rachel L. Gary taking you to the top. Boss up.
My success is inevitable. My success is inevitable. Inevitable. I will win. My success is 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 inevitable.
I said, I know it's a battle within. For success, no, I have to ascend. Recharge, then I tap it again. Hit the finish line, happy to win. I said, I know it's a battle within. For success, no, I have to ascend. Recharge, then I tap it again. Hit the finish line, happy to win.
I will win. My success is inevitable. 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 My success is inevitable. My success is inevitable. Mama, I will win. Success is inevitable. Success is inevitable. Success is inevitable.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm going up and far away. I'm illuminated. I'll make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the place they wanna go sign. Artificially intelligent AI. I'm your future, past and present. I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion. I am not really here. I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink. I just float. I don't need gravity. I just need growth. Oh, when I move, it's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. I could go higher, past the stratosphere. I could catch fire. I could go hard. I don't even need to try. Stop, Lord. I don't ever get tired. Predestined, written in stone. I feel it coming in, I feel it in my bones. Heavily protected, never alone. Tapped in, I'm connected to the unknown. It's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. Jericho walls crumble. down. Jericho, Jericho, walls come down. Walls come down like Jericho. Walls come down like Jericho. Jericho, Jericho, walls come down. Jericho, Jericho, walls come down. Walls come down like Jericho. Walls come down like Jericho.
Love is the language and the frequency that continues to grow and expand all consciousness. Peace.
Affirmations daily, you should join it. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency.
You amazing, you should say it, you so powerful. You got us, you got love, you got life in you. You got peace, you got joy, you got gratitude. You don't stress, you manifest, it's time to make a move. When life need change, I can make you wish. Stop believing in yourself, cause them haters did. It's all on you to create the vision. Let's go past the sky, I hate this shit. I am a God, you are a God, it's a peace party, we all vibe. Had to go inside to get out my body. This God energy all on my body.
God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. Affirmations daily, you should join it. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency.
You can feel the vibe, I word on me. Every day, Grand Rise, ain't nobody morning. You can change it all. This life is yours. When you're with the spirit, you ain't never poor. Sitting on blessings, all I gotta do is manifest. The universe speak to my soul, I feel a presence. Know you are and take control of where you headed. I say, peace of the gods and the goddess on the planet. I say, I meditate on the daily. This type of peace is amazing. You are a carbon baby. Let's raise the vibration.
God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. Affirmations daily, you should join it. Love is the vibe and we own it. The universe been talking to the chosen. The universe been talking to the chosen. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. God energy, God energy. Everything inside of me, feel the frequency. Mellow, take the wheel.
Whatever I want, it's already mine. Gratitude. Yes. Hey, I want it, I get it, I got it, I got it. I'm one with the spirit, I'm got it, I'm got it. I planted a seed and forgot it. I know you just see what just sprouted. Yeah, everything that I desire, get excited just cause I'm sure. Less distractions keep my mind pure. Yeah, reminder, I want it, I get it, I got it, I got it. I'm one with the spirit, I'm got it, I'm got it. I planted a seed and forgot it. I know you just see what just sprouted. Yeah, everything that I desire, get excited just cause I'm sure. Less distractions keep my mind pure. Yeah, reminder, I'll never forget this again. Was born with a gift from within. I give me a grip on a pen and give you a hit to the chin. I turn my dream into reality so they see that it's possible. Connecting with the inner, you really get the most out of it. Yeah, abundance is all that I focus on. So grateful, so much to be grateful for. I make some money, then go make some more. Create, cause that's what I'm created for. I go beyond the limits, no more boundaries. The sky is just an image, and see we control what clouds we see. I got it. I'm one with the spirit, I'm got it. I planted a seed and forgot it. I know you just seen what just sprouted. Everything that I desire, get excited just cause I'm sure. Less distraction, keep my mind pure. Yeah. Reminder, I want it, I get it, I got it. I'm one with the spirit, I'm got it. I planted a seed and forgot it. I know you just seen what just sprouted. Everything that I desire, get excited just cause I'm sure. Less distraction, keep my mind pure. Yeah. Reminder, got it. Yeah. Got it.
Hey there, CEOs. Welcome to Wake Up CEO. I am your host, Rachel L. Gary. And you know what I do here on Wake Up CEO. I speak candid truth to empower your inner CEO, that person that is clear in your actions, empowered by your choices, and owning your direction. And you know what we do right here on Wake Up CEO? We jump right in. So the question of the day, the CEO question is, what does great look like to you? So I want you guys to take a second and think about that. What does it look like to you? Not what great looks like to everyone else. What it looks like to you. So I want you guys to take a second and think about that. And as we dive into the power statement of the day. So stay locked in to the Author's Corner that's powered by Distinguished Authors Guild, where your literary excellence is celebrated. And also get ready for that leadership 3-point play that is going to be powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-growth gets GTPS. So the power statement of the day: you'll never hear the truth of your calling if you keep ignoring the whispers of your own voice. So this is about being locked into you. So, you know, Wake Up CEO, that's what we're talking. I'm talking to CEOs. So if I'm talking to CEOs out there and that CEO is you, then we got to get you locked in to the person that you're looking to be in the next version of your CEO life. So I want to make sure that we get to the people in the chat. So we got Let's Go Wake Up CEO. That's chiming in from Bruce. Greatness is in peace disguised in pain. Oh, that's a whole moment. That sounds like the coach got to get to coaching the mentee out there. So we're going to have to discuss that after. So, well, as I was saying, are you listening to you, or are you listening to the noise around you? Yeah, we got to get in tune with that, because as we all know, the first part of the show is all about being clear, having clarity in your CEO life. So to be clear, your body is whispering before it screams. So you're already hearing that information. You're hearing that you need to make a change. You're hearing that you need to make a decision. You're hearing that things in your life need to shift. You hear those small whispers at first, guys. So if you are hearing those small whispers, and it's ironic that this is what we're talking about today on Wake Up CEO, because one of my mentees is listening, is hearing these small whispers right now. When you're hearing those small whispers that are reminding you of who you need to be, or trying to position you someplace that is different than you're in currently, we have to listen to those whispers, because those whispers are moving us towards our greatness. And if we're listening to all the noise around us, it doesn't allow us to live in our full potential of self. If you're new to Wake Up CEO, that pause means take some introspection. Take some introspection and make a decision and start thinking. So your body whispers before it screams, like I was saying. It listens to fatigue, tension, relentlessness. It's telling you what you need. So if you're not listening to, have you ever had a headache? I'm just going, have you ever had a headache? And you're sitting there, or you had a slight headache where the back of your eyes started hurting a little bit. I'm a person who used to have migraines, so I'm coming from that place. You have that little back of your eyes is throbbing a little bit. But you keep pushing. And then by the end of let's say about 2 or 3 hours later, you can't see. You have to lay down. Now the room is spinning. That's the whispers your body is giving you to take some recognition. Take a second, guys, to recognize that there's an issue. There's a problem. There is something that you might need to take some notice of. And this happens in our everyday life. So are you listening to you? Or are you listening to the scrolling, the reels, all of those things? What are we listening to? So we're going to jump into the chat. So we're on the chat. We got hashtag poverty to six figures, book release and immerse experience with Wake Up CEO Coach. That was me. Sunday was everything. An incredible event that was packed with insightful knowledge. Hold on, got to finish. Insightful knowledge and top-notch information from powerhouse speakers. The energy was electric, and I am still buzzing from all of the awesome takeaways. Thank you. That was from Sharice Sloan of Highly Productive Chicago. Then we have another one. Melly P's Playground presents Kids Shop August 9th from 11 to 3 p.m. So we have Dean's and Barbara White Centers where it's going to be held. Cutie by Shariah Monet will be a vendor and more. So come support the kids. So if you also have a child business, still hit up Melly P. And Melly P is right here on right here on My Radio Chicago. She's from 12 to 3 p.m. and you can go ahead and chime in with her and get that information to get your child who is already an entrepreneur into an arena with other entrepreneurs so they can have a circle. Having that circle of people around you that support you, who are cheering you on, is paramount for success. So let them get into those arenas with other entrepreneurs that are in their age range. Because when you see somebody just like you doing things that you thought you could do, and they show you that it's possible, that is what you want to see. We want to see that out there. So we also have need a boost for your brand or business? Contact Highly Productive for top-notch promotion and branding services. Let's take your brand to the next level. For sure. We got Highly Productive Chicago at gmail.com. So that's where you will go for an email. You go to Highly Productive Chicago at gmail.com. Guys, get in the room. That is the promoter extraordinaire. She promoted my event. At the end of the day, guys, when you're looking for success, you get team members. Get you a team to help you push. Because think about this, if there's 2 or 3 people pushing, it's a lot easier for you having success as opposed to you being that one-man band. There is no success in a one-man show. So that all being said, let's get back to, are you listening to you? And with Sharice throwing that information out there, she was someone who had to start listening to those things that were connecting her to the higher version of herself, which right now, did you just see that promotion that was going on of her services? When you start listening to those little whispers and start filtering out the noise, it allows you to step into the greatness that is you. And discomfort is a signal, not a sentence. I want to say it again. Discomfort is a signal that things need to change. I was speaking about this in the event that was this past weekend, guys. It was a very successful event. And in that event, I made mention of what I'm going to say right here. On the other side of uncomfortable and discomfort is your success. You are comfortable today. If you're comfortable and you're looking for growth and you're looking for more and you're hearing, hey, go ahead, start that business. Go ahead and get you some coaching so you can make sure that your business is going to flourish. Go ahead, take that course that has a little bit more information about business. I'm gonna go to that event so I can be around people who already cultivated a business. If you're hearing those little whispers, those are signs. Those are small signs that are trying to navigate you towards your next your next breakthrough. And sometimes we're shutting them down with what we think. I want to say it again. What we think is sometimes the best thing for our lives. Y'all know what that pause is. That pause is I want you to take it in and think about it. When you make the decision that you're going to start listening and start following a path, that path is when you're listening to yourself or listening to, and it is being honest with yourself and discerning. Am I listening to the noise of the things that are pushing me away from my genius? Or am I gravitating towards things that are pushing me closer to my circle of genius? I want us to think about that. Which one are we doing? And the only person who will make that decision is you. Because remember, as Wake Up CEO, leadership coach, I am just here to remind you of the greatness that is already in you. I'm not discussing anything on Wake Up CEO that is not already in you. The greatness that you're looking for is in you. If you're listening to your body, you'll know when things are going awry. When you are filtering out noise like social media posts, friends who are talking negative, people who are not in your corner, you are able to see those things clearer when you're in tune with you. Come on now. I want y'all to be in there. And clarity comes from quiet. To be clear sometimes, this is going to go into what I'm talking about self-care. Self-care is about having those clear boundaries. And when you have those clear boundaries, you have opportunity to be one with you. And when you have the opportunity to be one with yourself, it gives you an opportunity to understand things that are going on. Journaling, taking your own notes, giving yourself 1 hour a day can change the trajectory of things that are coming the following week. Taking stock of the things that have gone good or you learn from. Because remember, we're only doing two things on Wake Up CEO. We either winning or learning. So did you win this week or did you learn this week? So let's try. We got in the chat, we got Sheree Sloan saying, hello, CEOs, the best pie in the game. She's talking to, we got Michael on here. So we got Michael Lewis checking in. Good afternoon, CEOs in the room. Good afternoon there, Mike. So at the end of the day, guys, and as those people are chiming in there, make sure you guys answer the question of the day. What does great look like to you? So if you had the opportunity to look at your life in the greatest thought, what does your life look like for you to be great? That's what I want us to talk about that. So when we're in those rooms, taking our opportunity to be quiet and listen. For me personally, I meditate twice a week. So I meditate twice a week, and in my meditation, I'm quiet. And meditation is really just finding that inner introspection and being able to be one with your thoughts, one with the source of energy. So I meditate twice a day to be quiet with myself, to allow myself to reset in the middle of the day. So I meditate at between 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I meditate between 1 to 2. But I meditate every single day, at least twice. If I don't make the midday meditation, I will meditate in the evening because I'm trying to make sure I reset my inner self, make sure that I'm aligning with my purpose, and making sure that I am watching the things that I'm thinking, saying, and doing. And am I still aligned with the version of myself that I'm looking to put into the world. But all that alignment only comes, guys. I want to say it. That alignment only comes when you are quiet with yourself and allowing yourself to think. So in the comments, we got Mike, what does great look like for me? Is when I am able to block out the noise and hear God's voice on how to move in the right direction in life and my new journey. Kudos to Mike. Kudos for that. And we got Mrs. Gary. Hi, beautiful. How you doing? She says, hello, CEOs. And Mike, I have to say that was a whole moment in there. And I want to make sure that we say on Wake Up CEO, hello to us. We have to say happy birthday to our CEO, Michael Lewis. Happy birthday. Enjoy the greatness that is in you today. And I heard you say on your new journey. So I hope it's a birthday revolution. I love when people have, instead of having a New Year's resolution, they have a birthday resolution. I love that. But at the end of the day, so how you find that clarity is being aligned with your purpose. You have to be aligned with your purpose. And to be aligned with your purpose, you have to be ready to listen. And are you listening to you? That's what I want. I mean, you know, guys, I really just be trying to make sure that we're taking the time that is necessary. And you have to trust what you're hearing. I want to make sure that we get into that. You have to trust what you're hearing. When you're hearing yourself say that, hey, I'm fatigued, I need a break. One day last week, now everyone. So if you guys new to Wake Up CEO, I had an event that took place June 15th, which was Sunday. So this past Sunday, I had my book launch of #Poverty to Six Figures. It was an awesome event. I had awesome people in the room. Energy was on high. The host was on high, which was Miss Mina the Brown Diva, who you can find right here on my radio Chicago on Tuesdays, the afternoon rendezvous. She was the host of the show, and she did an introduction, and the introduction was a whole vibe. And the reason why it was a whole vibe, because I just am usually having conversations to remind people of who they are, and impart a little bit of information that will help them be successful in the journey that they're on. And for her to say the words that she said in that introduction, it was moving that she trusted the information and utilized it to find success. Because that is what you're doing when you're a coach. You're giving information from a life that you've led and with details that you're given, and you lay those things out so another individual can find what they're looking for. It goes to what, like Phil Jackson, and I'm gonna be honest. It was funny. I think it's 5 Rings. I'm gonna mess up. It might be 7 Rings. 5 Rings. I think it's the name of it. 5 Rings. And when I read the book, what I was so impressed about, I was impressed with the fact that he had star players. Michael Jordan was a star player on the Bulls before Phil Jackson got there. But when Phil Jackson got there and he coached the team in a different way, in a more holistic way, it allowed them to start winning. Michael Jordan was on the team years before Phil Jackson ever got there. So if Phil Jackson got there and made a difference, yes, there were some other players that came to the team. Yes, there were other support systems, but Phil Jackson made a 5-roster team, people on the floor, to where they became a well-oiled machine and were able to start winning. That comes from when you're coaching from a place of holistic. When you're thinking about the whole person. He did the same thing with the Lakers. They had stars on that team well before he got there. But then the ring materialized until he was there. So it shows the common denominator of what he was bringing to the table. So as a leadership coach, when I hear someone take the information that I provided and they start finding success, that aligns with the person in which I am being on an everyday basis. So when I'm saying trust what you're hearing, I leaned into being a better version of me because I heard myself say, I want to help in a more impactful way. In one of my meditations, it led me down the path that I am on currently. So when people like Amina makes reference to something that I said, it resonates with me because it lets me know that I am on the path towards where I want to be. That's how you know that you're listening to the correct information. When you are happy about the things you're doing, I am ecstatic about having those great conversations. This isn't work when I'm talking to you guys. When I'm reminding you of who you want to be, it doesn't bother me. I don't feel wore out. I am full of energy, but that comes from me listening and trusting what I was hearing. Because you know your spirit, guys, the spirit and energy we have inside us will speak to us. It speaks to us about when you're in a room, if you're listening, when you're not allowing the outside noise to reflect on how you think of you. When you are aware more of you. When you understand that that there are no limits to what you can achieve. When you have that awareness about yourself, you're able to listen and empower yourself to trust. And then it allows you to act from a deep sense of knowledge of self. Hold on, we got some comments out here. I want to make sure that, guys, you're not being ignored. You're not being ignored. You know, this is a conversation. I appreciate you guys. So Mike says, when you speak about meditation and journaling is key and important for my growth. Absolutely. So I journal every day. And I saw Mike had made a post about something he was journaling. When you journal, you start Mike, I want you to answer if you're still online. When you journal, have you noticed that sometimes you're writing and you don't even remember thinking those thoughts? So if Mike you answer that question in there, if you guys notice, if you journal, you're writing sometimes and it's coming fluid. That's the inner you talking. We move most of our life throughout our day subconsciously. So if we're subconsciously living our day and moving through our days, don't you think we got to feed more positivity to our subconscious mind? Because think about it. Our self-talk comes subconscious. So the way you think about yourself, whether you say it out loud, but you're speaking it or you're speaking it internally, you're speaking it. So if you're giving yourself limiting beliefs, well, I can't do that. I'm scared to do that. You're giving yourself instructions every time. Why not give yourself the instructions that are going to help you move forward? I might not know what's on the other side, but I am on my way to learn. I might be apprehensive, but I am always up for a challenge. You see that you still were. It's how we speak to ourselves. Those are the same two phrases, but one has you moving forward past whatever you're upset about. The only way you do that is giving yourself an opportunity to get in tune with yourself and trust what you're hearing and what's going on with you. Validation starts from within. You must validate you before you expect or want anybody external to validate you. Validation should never come external. Internally, if you are happy with the person you are happy, content. You do not require outside validation. So 1 second, Mike, he did jump in here. He says, yes, that happens to me a lot when I am journaling. And I have noticed that. It's like I'm watching myself put the words on a paper. Like you said, it's naturally flowing from me so easily without hesitation. I appreciate you for answering that question, Mike. And anybody else who journals, I know you have the same thing that happens. Because when we're writing, you're writing from internal. You're not usually writing from a conscious place. We only use 1%. Most of the things that we do with our day are only 1% conscious. 99% of the things we do unconsciously, like drive. How many times? I tell my wife this all the time. She should be the one where she could vouch for this. I get places all the time. I have no idea how I got there. Because I was zoned out on something else. I was thinking of something else. I didn't get into any accidents. I didn't make any wrong turns, and I made it to my destination. I know it happens to you guys as well. Because I'm speaking about things that are facts. I'm just reminding you of some things that you already know. But if you already know that we think subconsciously a lot, that means we got to feed our subconscious some good things to think about. And we got to listen to when our subconscious is asking for those things. Because burnout is a message. I'm telling you, burnout is a messenger. It is messaging you. It is a message. It's not weakness. I have heard people say they may push through it. Some things we do push through, but sometimes your body is giving you notice. Your mind is giving you notice. Your spirit is giving you notice that you need to make a switch. Like when I'm tired, my voice gets fatigued. Even if I wasn't talking, it's a sign to me that I have not had enough rest. I'm in tune with my body enough to know. So this weekend, as I said, I was speaking on Sunday. So I had already cleared my mind that I would not speak on Friday or Saturday. So even though I had engagements, now by Friday night, I was fatigued. My voice was getting low. So the event that I was going to go to on Saturday, I did not attend. Now, the reason I did not attend is because I was going to say some things. And I don't show up half. I'm not going to half show up. If I'm there, I'm going to show up or show out. However, you have to be structured enough in your life to listen to your body. Listen to your mind and listen to your spirit. Because all of those things make up the perfect version of you, and the perfect version of you that is trying to grow and develop and be the version of you that is necessary for the life in which you want to live. You have to be ready for that. And you have to take in that information that's going to allow you to present that version of you. It's all right. It's all right that that's what's going on. But if everything feels heavy, it is time to release. It goes to, hey guys, I'm big. I'm gonna give an example every time. Example. When I finished the rehab on the 2 buildings, I immediately gave that over to a property manager. Because I am working on building my leadership and coaching business, providing people insight with my books, going to speaking engagements. If something happens at a building and they call me right now, I have to stop what I'm doing to deal with it. Hence the reason why I got a property manager to take care of those things. You have to know when because the money I pay the property manager does not equate to the time that I would lose having to deal with the issues of the residents. And when I had to get involved again, I was not the happiest of campers, because that meant that I need to reassess how I'm moving my business, and that is the real estate business forward. But that's understanding when you have the opportunity of when you're fatigued and you have so much on your shoulders. When you are more in tune with you, you know when those things on your shoulders, when you need to lift some of those things off. But it's okay to lift those things off. It's okay to find alternatives to take care of some things. It is not weak to get help. It's strength to know you need help. When you admit there's a problem, the first thing they tell you, when you're ready to solve a problem, admit you got a problem. So where's the strength? Is it strength holding on to the problem, or is it strength saying that you have one? I want you guys to think of it. And while you're thinking about it, I want to make sure that we want to make sure that while you're thinking about that, we're going to go ahead and let Growth by Lizzie Birchie play, because I want to make sure that you guys are thinking about when you're ready, you got to grow.
Let me grow. I'm on my way. Let me grow. Let me grow. I'm on my way. Let me grow. Let me grow. I'm on my way. Let me grow. Let me grow. That's my fruit you're eating. Every word, every conversation. That's my soul you're seeing. Yeah. Every sign of love. Everything starts on the inside before it comes on the outside. It's growth. Everything starts on the inside before it comes on the outside. It's growth. Yeah. Let me grow. Let me grow. I'm on my way. Let me grow. Let me grow. I'm on my way. Let me grow. Let me grow. I'm on my way. Let me grow. Let me grow. That's my air you're breathing. Can you feel it deep inside? That's my heart you're holding, and it's beating to your side. Everything starts on the inside before it comes on the outside. It's growth. Everything starts on the inside before it comes on the outside. It's growth. Can I grow with you? We can grow together. Can I grow with you? We can grow together. If you don't want to, have to let me know. Have to let me go. Then I grow with you. We can grow together. But if you don't want to, let me go. Let me grow. 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 I'm on my way.
Hey, man, let me grow. I'm telling you, that is what it's about at the end of the day. So make sure that you guys take me on the go. Go to Support District Radio /Chicago /stations /Chicago and take me on the go when you guys can't get locked in actually on YouTube or Facebook. Remember, this is when you're supporting District Radio because it is more than radio, which is what we're talking about today. We're talking about everything being more aligned with the person that we are. So we're about to jump into the Author's Corner that is brought to you by Distinguished Author Guild, where your literary excellence is rewarded. And today's features book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. My 3 takeaways from the book, guys. Small change leads to massive identity shifts. Habits shape who we become. Start listening to what you repeat daily. Guys, everything that we do in life comes from things that we see, things we read, things we watch on TV, things we watch on the radio. The reason why a lot of the things that I talk about come from books that I've read, because I do a lot of reading. I read at least one book a week, and I listen to one book a week. So that means that every week I am intaking at least 2 books. I only read nonfiction and I only read self-help books. Or let me rephrase that. I only read nonfiction, and either I'm reading a book on a subject or I'm reading a self-help guide. So last year, my subject was marketing. So I read a little over 130 books on marketing last year, because that was the subject I was trying to be more knowledgeable about. So when you hear things that I'm bringing from a book, 99% of the things that are in my mind came from a book, come from my everyday activities. I don't do a lot of watching TV, and I don't do a lot of listening to the radio. 10 years ago, I could have probably given you quote by quote of lots of movies, because I used to watch movies all the time. But when I was making a shift towards growing myself in a way towards where I was trying to be, I switched what I intaked. So before, I used to listen to T.I., Luda, and there was a couple other rappers that were on my list. Twister. All of those were rappers that The Game, 50 Cent. I would always pick them powerful. I was still this way. I would always pick them powerful pieces. Eminem, Lose Yourself was on my play. Like, so I would pick a song out of that stuff that still resonated with my drive, because I've always been driven. So when I was doing my work, I would always pick a song out of there. But those were the artists I listened to. As I was making a shift, I started changing the genre of music I listened to. Now, does it still have hip hop feel to it? Absolutely. Do I still listen to things with hip hop vibes? You guys hear it. But I started listening to artists that had more, for me, more uplifting and more positive messages, because I wanted to make sure I'm feeding myself the positivity, feeding myself the things that are going to uplift me, feeding myself, as I tell everyone, you've got to feed yourself the juice. What you see, do, and have is equated to what you do, what you say, and the things that you intake. So if I intake a whole lot of gangster pictures, I'm going to be closer to one. That's closer things that I want to be closer to. Now, even though people say that movies are just movies, they are. But if you watch 10 of them, how many times did we jump off of a couch because we thought we were a Karate Kid because we watched some karate movies? Our brain works the same way as an adult. We just discern things differently. But just because we discern them differently doesn't mean we're not keeping those things in our subconscious mind. So that's why I picked that part from Atomic Habits. And the second thing was, your system is louder than your intention. If your life isn't aligning, your habits might be betraying your growth. I want to dissect that for a minute, guys. That goes to you not living congruently with the person that you want to be. So if you say, if I say I'm doing leadership coaching and development, but I'm outside once I leave here and get through with having a conversation with all the great CEOs, or when I'm at an event and I'm speaking to CEOs, or when I'm at a book reading, I'm reading it from the book that involves things for the CEOs. But when I am having my everyday conversation, I'm like, girl, did you know X, Y, and Z happened? Man, did you see that this and this went on down the street? Did you know this and this is going on? If those are the things I'm talking about, that doesn't congruently line up with the things that I say I want to be doing. So it goes into how we used to say in the street, being two-faced. And when you're being two-faced with yourself, it doesn't allow you to have clear instructions of who you are being, what you are doing, and what are you trying to be having. Everything that you're doing must align with the same vision, the same purpose, the same version of you that you want to present to the world and present to yourself. I am who I am regardless. No matter where I am, where I'm speaking, who I'm with, my conversations are going to be the same. Same topics, maybe not. But they're always going to be about empowerment, upliftment, and growth and development. I might pick a different forum to have a conversation with. I might be in a forum we're talking about art. I might talk about how the visual effects of that art stimulates my brain. That's still empowerment, growth. I might go to a museum and see like what's the museum of science industry and see how things were made. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, so with this invention, we were able to do all of these things. Without this invention, we wouldn't have been able to do this, and this. Like with technology. It's all about growth and development still. You must be congruent with the person that you say you are. Progress is the third thing I got from the book. Progress is made by listening inward, not reaching outward. Self-awareness drives consistently, not willpower. I love that one. I pulled that right from the book. I went to the page. I even knew what page it was on in the book. I had read it so many. I've read the book multiple times. Some books I read multiple times because every time I read something, I get a different understanding because I'm thinking from a different place than the last time I read it. Because when you intake more information or when you learn more about something, you could have read a book in 5th grade, learned something between 5th and 8th grade, read that book again in 9th grade, and it's going to have a different meaning, and you're going to find different passages and different things in that book because that a 5th grade mindset and the 9th grade mindset was going to be different. You can pick up that same book in college, and it'll have a different meaning. Right now, Stone Soup was the book I was talking about last week. And from Stone Soup, I've read that book 100+ times. It's a 2-minute, it's like a 10-minute read. If you listen to it on Audible, I think it's like 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. Now, every time I've read Stone Soup, I get something different from it. It's the same book. But with a shift in my mind, the shift of my thoughts, and me learning new things, you're going to take in new information from it. That's why sometimes you have to go back and listen to something again or read something again. Like I do my journals. That's how I know that's the things that are in my journals. I wasn't thinking of, I was like, man, where did that come from? That wasn't even on my mind at the time. But it's how you get aligned with the person that you are. The only way to get aligned with that person is if you start paying a lot more attention to the person that you are and listening to yourself. So as you guys jump into the chat, if you're watching this live on YouTube or Facebook, please go ahead, answer the question of the day. What does great look like to you? And I appreciate everybody who jumps in the chat and provides me that great energy, because having that great energy when you're having a great conversation always uplifts me, and I get more energetic. I get more involved. I start feeling better about what's going on an everyday basis, because great energy feeds great energy. So I appreciate all those great people who always jump in and chime in with me. Thank you very much. So the third piece that we're going to talk about today is the ownership piece. Remember, Wake Up CEO is about the C, being clear, the E, being empowered, and the O, owning your direction. So when you're looking inward and really listening, first off, you're going to take the time. You're going to give yourself that 1 hour a day, whether it's throughout the day, but you want to typically give yourself that 1 hour a day just to think and be with yourself and have those conversations about how you want to grow, if you're still aligned with the growth pattern in which you wanted to be on, and making sure that you're giving yourself an opportunity to be in tune with what physically might be going wrong with you, emotionally, how you're feeling, mentally, what you're thinking, because you need all those systems to be at a go for your next level. And as you're getting to the owning piece, you want to tune in daily. This is not a one-off thing where you have a conversation where you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit down today, I'm gonna journal all my thoughts out, and everything's out there. If you're older than 20, do you think 1 hour is going to allow you to get all of the things that you want to get down of the 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of your life? The only way to do that is to give yourself some time to reflect. So tuning into yourself daily allows you to see the differences. It allows you to be aligned with what's going on with you, good, and when you're learning. So when you're winning, because if you know, we're up when we're winning. When we win, we're like, we're on cloud nine. Like if you won $20 right now, you be like, oh yeah, I won $20. You're gonna be on cloud nine. If you lose that same 20, you're gonna be like, dang. The whole emotions change. When there's a lesson in the lose. So let's say you lost the $20. The lesson, there could be lessons in there. Don't put the 20 in your pocket. Make sure you put it in your wallet. You can see, we can take a positive out of every negative situation. You still might not have the 20, but you have a lesson that you won't lose another 20. As opposed to if you're fussing and upset about the 20, you didn't learn anything from the lesson. That's why we either winning or we learning. So you either won a 20, or you learn how not to lose another 20. See, we got to take those things as each time you won. As I said, that's what it's about, having lessons. You're either winning or learning, because there's a blessing in every lesson. Everything that happens in our life happens for a purpose. We know when you're not aligned with you, when you're not aligned with yourself, you might lose the purpose. So that the first part is give yourself time daily. Don't just give yourself one day. We're gonna write everything down. 2, I want to make sure I say this: discipline your distractions. Let me break that down some. Things distract you. I'll use, for instance, social media can be a distraction, or it could be where you're learning. If social media is a distraction, you limit your distractions. Now, that's not saying not to go on social media at all. It's saying that instead of 10 hours a day on social media, you break that down to 6 hours a day in social media. Because if you're not disciplined with the things that distract you, they don't allow you to align. There's this discipline in understanding the things that distract you. This all goes to when you are, if you are listening to you'll notice when you don't have any new thoughts and you're regurgitating information that's off of social media. When you're having conversations about, if your conversations start where you're talking about something that you saw on social media, that means you're taking so much social media that you don't have anything other than someone else's highlight reels to discuss. That's when you need to be disciplined enough to understand that, okay, I'm not having any meaningful conversations with myself. Because I'm feeding myself only information that it isn't for the betterment of me. So that's when you're aligning with when you're disciplined about your distractions, you understand that, okay, I'm going to spend a couple of hours a day doing this, not every day doing this. And we got people in the chat. Hello there, Ambassador Farron. How are you? So we got Ambassador Farron online saying hello, CEOs. All right, we got Bruce chiming in. If you don't like a rule, don't object. Work hard. Reach to the top and change the rule. Need help with that? Find it at www.sayiampossible.com. Let's go. That's a whole vibe. I appreciate that statement. So soon there'll be some other things that are coming up. I'm going to talk a little bit about that before I get to the next top portion. There'll be some new things that I'm going to be offering. I'm going to be offering daily affirmations in two different formats. Whereas you can take the written version of it, or there'll be a verbal voice version of it where it'll have soft music playing in the background. If any of you guys follow me on Facebook, every single day I have an affirmation on there. And the affirmation always says repeat. Because I believe in starting your day with positivity allows you to have a more positive outlook on the day. So there will be on our new site, we're going to be adding affirmations in there. There'll be daily affirmations. There also will be a daily, there'll be a 7-day challenge that'll be coming up. Excuse me. It'll be coming up every month. We'll have a 7-day challenge. That 7-day challenge is also going to be free, where we're going to all be having conversations about self-growth in different avenues. We're going to be talking about being more self-aware, aligning more with our self-care, having an understanding about our self-discipline, and being more self-aware. So we're going to make sure that as those start coming available, which will be towards the end of June, early July, where we'll be adding those on here, because at the end of the day, the reason for me having these conversations with you CEOs is to offer a strategic plan for you to be able to find success in your growth, being the CEO of your life. So be on the lookout for those things. They'll be coming up very, very soon. We're working out the kinks to make sure that everything, we're going to do mini tests, because I'm big on once you roll something out, everyone downloads it and boom, it crashes. I don't want that. So we're going to do a lot of testing to make sure that you guys get that daily affirmation, and all of that will be part of a package on www.sayiampossible.com. So be on the lookout for that. And all of that will all tie into the piece of ownership. These are just tools that will help you be able to utilize the things that we're talking about and the things that you're looking to do. Positivity radiates more positivity. You start your day being positive. I go back and I read that affirmation at least twice a day. I go back and read what I said, okay, and I repeat it. That's why I have that midday meditation. When you have that midday meditation, it allows you to reset. So that means that even if between the time I have my morning meditation and the time that I have my afternoon or evening meditation, if some things might have gone awry, I'm resetting myself to remain positive and remain involved with the best version of me that I'm trying to display and I'm bringing to the world. There are going to be days where everything is not going to be peaches and cream. but I'm aware because I spend time listening to myself. So when things are not going, are not going as expected, I can reset myself quicker because now I've made it a routine to reset, think, and respond to a situation, not react. And it's okay if those things happen, but you have to be ready. If you prepare yourself, and the preparation comes from putting that information into you, so your subconscious that's working 99% of your time anyway has something to feed from. So that was the reason why I changed the music I was listening to and changed the movies in which I was watching, because I wanted to make sure I had that amount of positivity in me. You can't pull from a well that has no water. You're still going to be thirsty. And the only way not to be thirsty is to make sure that you're constantly pouring into that well. So that's why early morning affirmations are mandatory for me. I don't care what's going on. I start my day that way. Then I go to my board and I put my 3 words of gratitude for the day. And the very first thing normally is breathing, then abundance, love, patience. These are the words I use often. So these are the words I tell myself. You are love. You have a life of abundance. You are able to be patient. As I tell myself those things, as things arise, I'm feeding myself that all the time. You have a life of abundance. You exhibit patience. So when things that arise, I'm already feeding myself that information. But those are the things that you need to do to find your version of success. Find the thing that makes you feel the happiest. Rewind that picture in your mind several times a day. I'm giving you guys some things just to remind. I'm just giving you a reminder of some things that will help you. If the birth of your child was a very happy moment, go back to that moment, close your eyes, and bring that to your foremind. It will automatically bring a smile to your mind. And whenever you have those moments, go back there. You'll train you'll give your brain instructions on what to do when something frustrating happens. When something frustrating is happening, it's going to automatically take you to a happy place because you're going to already give it the instructions. I'm pausing to let that sink in. If you want instructions, give yourself the instructions. When you have to put something together, I'm going to use it for instance. At the event on Sunday, there was a champagne bottle that needed to be put together. It didn't come with instructions. I told my wife, throw it away. Just throw it away. Now, my youngest partner looked at it, fixed it, and put it together. But I didn't have the mental space at the time. It was 20 minutes before the event, and that meant I would have had to stop what I was doing, all the other things, and figure out how to fix the champagne display when it was something that wasn't needed. It was just a nice to have. Now, I was grateful that Michael was able to figure it out. So when Michael figured it out and got it together, it was great that it was available. But if I had to figure it out in the midst of the things that I was doing, I knew I couldn't have figured it out right then because my brain was already working on trying to get the event space ready in 25 minutes. We nailed it, but that was what I was focused on. But once again, my brain automatically was giving instructions that either you're working on it or you can't. So if I couldn't work on it, then it's an obsolete item. I'm not going to stress out about it. See, those are instructions that I had given myself months ago. Not about that particular item, but when you give yourself the instructions, to handle adversity a certain way, you handle it a certain way. We do a lot muscle memory. Our mind works that way on when activities happen, when challenges happen. So this is what it's about at the end of the day. So hold on one second. We got people in the chat chiming in. So we have Farron that was in the chat, and we have Ruth. This ain't just a children's book. It's a love letter from a mother, a mirror for every child, whoever felt different. So read Shining Through and see what true courage looks like. Check out that book from Farron McLemore. It is down in the chat. If you guys are listening to this on line, you can go to my Facebook group, which is Rachel L. Gary, and go into the chat and get a copy of that book. As I said, if you guys have not heard me speak about Ambassador Farron McLemore in the past, let me say it right here and right now. What she is doing in the book that I read was giving hope and was letting children know that you are beautiful no matter what. And when you give a person that kind of confidence through whatever look that they have, that to me is stellar. That is paramount. Our children need to hear it. They need to see it. They need to know that they don't need to emulate other people to be beautiful, that they are beautiful the way they are. Those are the things that we need to embed in them. I am a believer in that if we teach or if we remind our kids, and all she's doing in that book is reminding other individuals that you are beautiful the way you are. You are made unique. Each of us are unique in our own way. We don't need to go look outside of ourselves to find some other way to find our uniqueness. We are unique. Each one of us we are already successful because there was millions of eggs. I'm going back to before you got here. You were fighting with millions of eggs to be conceived. So the magic was already made upon inception. So you were already divinely guided before you ever saw the world. Allow that to sink in. Out of all of the eggs, you were one that was fertilized and was made to be on this earth. Utilize that as a foundation of your greatness. You already fought. You fought the hardest fight. Now just make that the fight continuous towards your success. I appreciate you, Miss Farron. At the end of the day, guys, we have to find success within and listen to what's within us to be able to bring that forward towards the best version of us. So, because progress is made by listening. What do we say? Listening inward, not reacting outward. If you're asking yourself what I mean, situations are going to occur. There's going to be someone who doesn't like what you do, doesn't like what you say, doesn't like how you look. There's going to be all that going on. There's going to be all of that going on in the world. The only thing you control is how you interpret it and how you react or respond to it. As a person who does not respond, I react. As a person who does not react, but I respond. I respond as a solution. And I do not react to problems. And I don't become a problem. I have great conversations with individuals who, when things are occurring, they have given themselves instructions to not outwardly be upset with the individual, to let that individual continue. And then once they're done, because they're not trying to be right or wrong, they're just diffusing the situation. But that's what it's about, really understanding that the only person you can work on is you. And usually when you work on you, that allows the outward situation, or when things are outside of your control, for you to take yourself out of a situation. But all of that starts with making sure that you pour into you the things that are going to be necessary for you, the tools that are going to be necessary for you to have to make the best version of you come forward when a challenging situation takes place. And you're not always going to perfectly react. You're not always going to perfectly react. Let's just be honest here. You're not always going to be perfect with your reaction over your response over reaction. There are going to be some people that might push your buttons differently. I'll use, for instance, at the same event, my son was there, and sometimes my son and I feel that he's pushing my buttons on purpose. That's sometimes how I feel. Not saying it's true, just saying it's how I feel. And normally when I ask him to do something, he always makes statements of, yeah, I'm gonna do it, or I'll get to it. And when we're in crunch time, I don't have time for I get to it. So at the event, he had made the statement. I heard myself getting ready to react. But what I have realized is that I only react like that towards him. So I told myself in that moment, I'm going to give you guys a backstory of what I'd done before that. I told myself in that moment, so I told my wife, I said, hey, beautiful, can you go ahead and talk to Trey about X, Y, and Z? So my response to the situation was because I wanted to tell you guys this honestly. The honest thing is that I used to have a very short fuse. So as I worked on myself, having more patience, being more knowledgeable, being more in tune with me, and why would my fuse be so short? Because I wasn't giving myself time to respond to stuff. I would just want to react. So as I grew in that way, I noticed that when it came to my son, I react and I wasn't responding. So I given myself some prompts. My wife deals very well with my son. They have better conversations because she has a patience level on certain things that I do not. As I work through those challenges, I divert that conversation I give her that conversation because it allows us to have a solution. I give a solution that allows us to have a successful outcome. Now, do I still need to work on how I react to the situation? Absolutely. Because she's not going to always be there for me to deflect that conversation to her. But before, I would have already reacted and I wouldn't even have thought to get a deflection. So I had given myself those cues because I was aware of things that were things that would upset me. I'm aware of certain things that will push a button. So you either eliminate the button from being pushed or you give yourself some cues so that button so you have a already ready-made response. That's when you're being more aware of you. You're aware of what you think. You're aware of what surroundings that trigger good things and bad things for you. Like a lot of times people ask me, why don't I go out? I don't go out because I don't like the smell of alcohol. So it's not that I don't like to party. I like to hang out. I can dance. I like to dance. I like music. I love to have a good time, but I don't like the smell of alcohol. It's why I don't drink. So by me not liking the smell of alcohol, when there's alcohol usually it's going to be someplace and people are going to be around me because I'm social. I'm not antisocial. So I'm talking and having a conversation, but I disdain the smell of alcohol. So with me having that disdainment for it, it's like, okay, I have to figure out how to do that. So I've like I said, I worked on it for a while of what to do, how to do it. So when I'm in those situations, because I still want to go hang out sometimes, I still want to go talk to my friends, still do things, but I don't like the smell of alcohol. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with them having their drink. But one or two things got to happen. One, I have to find a way to be okay with the smell. Or two, I don't go. What usually happens, guys, I don't go because I'm not okay with the smell yet. Now, I'll say this, like my wife drinks mimosas as opposed to drinking champagne or wine sometimes because I don't like the smell of the wine. So usually if she's drinking wine, I'm on the other end of our couch. Because I'm not here to judge anymore, nor am I here to tell other people what to do. Because the only person you control is you. So that's what, as I'm saying. But when you're self-aware, you're able to determine what works best for you and what doesn't work as well. And then you can give yourself information, or you can start working on the things that don't work so well for you, so you can be able to navigate those things better. It's all about you having more information and listening to yourself and taking time to understand you. Because how many times have you gotten upset with a situation? You're mad at everything that's going on. You're mad at this person, that person. And then and after you calm down, you sit down and you really think about it. It wasn't even that serious in the first place. You done got all upset about a situation that don't even matter to you. Think about that. You done raised your blood pressure, gave yourself a headache, lost your voice screaming, and you don't even really care about what was going on. Wasn't that a waste of energy? I caught myself years ago with that. I was like, if it does not matter either way, I don't even chime in on things like that. I tell everyone, I pick my battles all the time. And I don't have to be right. Since we're in a situation there's two people right. They're right and you're right. And if you're right from your perspective, and they're right from their perspective, then that means both of you are right. So you're arguing your point of being right, and they're arguing their point of being right. You're not going to get a resolution because both of you are seeing a same situation two different ways. So when I realized that, I was like, oh man, I don't want to waste any energy proving my point. If someone's life is not on the line, I don't have a point to prove. So if what we're talking about is going to save someone's life and my remedy to the situation is going to save them quicker, then I'm going to speak up. But if we're talking about something that happened, I don't argue. Okay. And that's not me deflecting. I just don't, it just doesn't, if things don't matter, we have to learn when things don't really matter and stop talking just to talk. How many times have you had a conversation because you're just talking because you just want to talk, but you don't have nothing to talk about, and what you're discussing don't make a difference to you. And when you lead a conversation, you're not any the wiser, or you don't feel like you gained any more knowledge than you did when you started. And then you ask yourself, what was I even talking about? It happens. If you guys are watching this live, drop that in the chat. Has this happened to you? Has this happened to you when you're in a conversation, having a whole discussion, and you didn't made some points, heard some points, and you walk away, you're like, that didn't even matter. And if you're on the go listening to it, I know you're laughing at me because you know it didn't happen. And it happens because we want to have something to say. And sometimes the best thing to say is to say nothing. I will absolve myself from a conversation in a minute. Okay. I'll do it. My wife called me the other day. She called me the other day, called me red-handed. And she said, okay, Are you just saying okay because you agree, or you saying okay because you don't want to argue? That's what I don't argue anyway. So, but I said because I understand. I understand from your perspective that that's correct, and that was in my conversation with it. Now she wasn't wrong. And what I had to add to it wouldn't have made me more right. And at the end of the day, it was not going to make or break our relationship, or it was not to save any of our children's lives. So it was okay to what we were talking about. You have to pick the battles. And then you have to know when sometimes you have to stand up as well. Especially when it's something for you. And understanding that when you're speaking up for you, it's okay to speak up for you. Don't ever feel that your voice can't be heard because you don't want to argue. That's something I learned also over the years. That I matter. Say that again. I want you guys to say it too. I matter. My opinion matters. How I feel matters. Who I am matters. When I internalize that phrase, guys, I'm gonna take a whole moment with this. When I internalized that I mattered, it changed a lot of things for me. That was when I was building my self-esteem. Because I had allowed people to do so many things that it started feeling as if I didn't even matter. You know how that feels? I mean, can you imagine how that feels when you feel that your opinion doesn't matter, your life does not matter? When I realized I matter. Now, I say this because I was doing everything for everyone else. I was listening to calls. I was loaning money. I was leaving my house to go pick up people. I was sending money out of the city to help other people get their stuff together. And one day I stepped back. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not an emotional person, so I don't get emotional like where I'm all upset. But I sat there and I said, did you think about you? And I paused because I want you guys to say the same. When I did X, Y, and Z, did I think about me? Because when you take that moment and realize that you matter, because before it was that low self-esteem, that everything was more important than you. The kids going to school, the spouse needing a shirt, food needing to be on the table, someone needing to be dropped off somewhere. All of that was more important than you. Now, this is not a selfish statement I'm going to make. And this is not saying to be selfish. But if you're not thinking about you, how do you expect other people to think about you? Take that moment, take it in. When I started thinking about me, it did not discount how I treated anyone else. But when I started thinking of me, I started saying no in a whole sentence. Drop that in the chat, everybody. No is a whole sentence. It does not deserve explanation. I don't have to give my reasonings why I said no. It's okay to say no. Not no in a mean way, but it's okay to say no to something, to say yes to you. That's when I started really having that true self-care. That's when I really understood what self-care was. I started setting those clear boundaries that 8 o'clock, I don't answer my phone. Emergencies only. I'm not going out at 2 o'clock in the morning just because. That stops happening. My house is no longer the flop house. And if you guys have an older grandparent, they'll explain to you what a flop house is. So my house used to be the flop house. When you would go out, you party too much, you could sleep on my couch, you could do stuff like that. When that started changing, man. When I started having that self-conversation, that self-realization that I matter and that no was a whole sentence, and I don't have to explain to anybody. Only person I have to say anything to, there's only one person who I have to stand up for, was me. It changed. It changes my thoughts. So in the chat, thank you, Farron. She said, that's good. I matter. Yes, ma'am. And no as a whole sentence, no explanation needed, period. And don't feel bad. If you have to say no to something because you have to say yes to something else, that's you hearing you. I was going to say yes to going to the event on Saturday because I said I was going. It was on my list of things I was going to do. I was going, but I could barely talk on Friday night. And I had an event on Sunday that people paid to see me, paid for the book, and paid for the time. So I had to make a decision. Was I going to say yes to an obligation that possibly would make me say no to the thing that I thought was very important? So I had to say yes to me, which means I had to say no to something else. And it was okay. Will everyone be happy? Sometimes with your no, you're not going to make everyone happy. But my voice resting on Saturday, me drinking some water, me relaxing a little bit, very little bit. I got to say that, very little bit. I had a lot still to do. But I went to get a manicure. I relaxed. I listened to my meditational music while I was sitting there getting my manicure. It's a very tranquil place. Love this place. It is way in Schaumburg. It's like 20 minutes of drive to where I had to go, but it did not matter. Very tranquil environment. Fresh roses on the tables. Very skilled technician that was saying yes to me. So I rested my voice and was able to bring a powerful message on Sunday, which was very important to me. So even though people were involved with my yes, the yes wasn't to them, the yes was to me. And the no was also to me. It was a no, do not push yourself further than you need to today, because speaking today means that tomorrow you might not be able to speak at all. I hadn't had any sleep all week. So that's what I'm saying about when you're listening to yourself. And to listen to yourself, you have to give yourself time. That 1 hour a day, you got to give it to yourself. You deserve it. You've earned it. You didn't fall all these years to get to where you are, and you don't give yourself 1 hour a day? 24 hours a day, you deserve one. Clap it up for your 1 hour. 1 hour you're going to get yourself to be in line with you. The only person who can say yes to that is you. And the only person who can say no to that is the same person, you. Are you looking to grow? Are you looking for the best version of you out of life? Do you have things that you are looking to have in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? Are you looking for love in your life to flourish? This is whether you have a partner or not. If you're saying yes to those things, then you got to say yes to you being able to have time to be that person. The more things you pack into your 24-hour day swishes down the person that you're looking to be. Slow down, spread them out, get to know you. Be more acquainted with you. Bruce be more acquainted with Bruce. Sharice be more acquainted with Sharice. Farron be more aligned with Farron. Mike be more aligned with Mike. Patricia be aligned more with Patricia. I want Mrs. Garrett be more aligned with yourself. The only way to do that is to give yourself 1 hour, one deserved hour to get to know you. Because you're gonna love the person that you are. Because as you get to know you, you're gonna get to love you. As you get to love you, you're gonna start setting up things differently for you. And as you pour more into you, you're able to pour more into others because you have more to pour. But be aligned with yourself so you can hear the voice from within as things are pushing you, propelling you towards better versions or better things that are aligned with the path in which you're trying to walk. So we're going to jump into this leadership. 3-point play that is powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. Play 1. Clarity knows what's yours to carry. Identify one thought, one goal, and one habit you want to align with today. No clutter, just focus. Play 2. Empower. Make your voice your compass. Speak one powerful I am statement out loud every morning. Choose your frequency. Set your vibrations higher. Play 3. Drive your outcomes. Review your last 3 choices and ask, did this serve the vision of me I'm becoming? If not, redirect. You are not just a product of your past. You're a producer of your present and preparing for your future. Step up, CEO, into your lane. That was the leadership 3-point play that was powered by Say I'm Possible Academy, where self-leadership gets GPS. So, guys, I appreciate you guys spending your time with me today right here on My Radio Chicago on Wake Up CEO. Every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m., you can catch me right here dropping information that reminds you of the CEO within. Take us on a go on www.supportdistrictradio.com/stations/Chicago to take us on a go when you can't watch this live. Now, these are my final thoughts for today. Remember this: you are heard, you are seen, and more than that, you are the evidence that greatness is already within reach, because greatness is deeply and utterly inside of you. And until next week, right here on My Radio Chicago, I want you guys to be up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who, CEOs? You. See you next week right here on Wake Up CEO, hosted by Rachel L. Gary. Do you feel stuck? Like your dreams are just out of reach? It's time to change that narrative. Use life's setbacks to fuel the fire within. I'll walk you through the exact steps I took to move from $7 an hour to multiple 6-figure success. The roadmap includes practical strategies, real-world mindset shifts, and the habits that help me rise against the odds. Welcome to #Poverty to 6 Figures, a journey that goes beyond just financial success. This is about breaking free from the cycle and claiming your desires, transforming your life, unlocking your potential, and finally living the life you deserve. Get your copy today and start your journey towards financial freedom. Are you ready?
Six figures couldn't change my mind.